Hello YouTube, it's Hazuchio here, joined by Leumas. Together we will be reviewing this match between the Lord Thy God and Maybz, who was actually piloted by Roy Lee, the Season 1, Season 3 champion. This match was really well played, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, this match was very special, starting from the first pick and ban, or actually even before that. Like, if we just look at Mayb's box, or I should say Roy Lee's box here, it only has one tank in it, and that is the juggler. So we normally don't see this, right? Do you see any other people like just running single tank boxes like this?
This is the first time I've seen it in like a long time.
Yeah, normally we see two tank boxes, meta boxes like that. But this one is just single tank. So here, Roy Lee doesn't even actually ban one of the two tanks first either. He goes for Rien. So, what do you make out of this?
I mean, I feel like Rien's probably the DPS who wants to fight the least, and he probably doesn't care which tank he fights, so depending on who Lord picks will then kind of direct the rest of his picks as it goes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right now, you have to already understand, like, after the first pick and ban, that Roy Lee is not going to have a tank here. So he's going to be banning out a lot of these units that are really good against non-tank boxes like Yusuke. But there isn't a Yusuke, so he's just going after this Rien. And the Rien, it's not like very strong against no tank boxes here, but he does have a lot of RNG here. Like Bozo and Licorice. Normally I just ban out all these RNG units, because you can just lose to bad RNG. Like clock AoEs.
Yeah, and with the heal reversal in this kid too, sometimes you think you're in the clear and then you just get heal reversed, and sometimes there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, like heal reversal, heal blocks when you really don't want it, or like silences too if you're not on Holy Ring or Bracer. That can really change games. So already we're seeing some very interesting stuff here. But now, I'm assuming Roy Lee also knows the Lord's playstyle. Because here he's not actually like running Yusuke and stuff, so he doesn't have to worry about not playing with a tank here. Because it's only really Yusuke and the long range attackers that are good against no tanks. Stuff like Sigma, or maybe like D-Lit with her 3C can attack and run. But everyone else, they're just like short-legged, they can't really hit and run. Maybe you can consider Illustrial a hitter runner. But really not that much, right?
Yeah, because honestly, if you ban, it's like Ares Lusty here, you really take out a lot of the legs. But he goes with Gospels. Alright.
Yeah, so here, just goes for a first pick, old Landius. So, as soon as I saw this, I know this guy, whoever on the right side is, I didn't know this was Roy Lee at the time. Like, whoever they hired, this guy's a pro. Like, only CN level players would do as first pick Landius. So here I'm like, wow, I'm just ready to be amazed here. And then,
that really counters. And now the gospel bans make sense because you don't care about Illustrial or Ares when you have Oldius. Or you care about them a lot less.
Yeah, ban gospels, and also they kind of are units you don't want to face because, like, Rachel, pretty long range if she has the +1 range stick. And also D-Lit here can just go in, attack, and run back. So that does make sense.
Plus the off-healing, if he chooses to go AoE, the off-healing can be very, very annoying to deal with.
Yeah, so I think Lore kind of notices the double gospel ban and then picks up the last gospel from Liana here. Just kind of preparing himself to face against all these AoE sort of debuff box or units here, like Bozo, Licorice, Gizerov perhaps. So now he's slightly safer from that.
I don't know if I would have went with Liana there. It's not like you pick one. Let's say Maybz picks Bozel per se. That's one AoE to buff. There's not that many other ones. You can get rid of Licorice. You can get rid of Jizzer off there. I feel like him picking some sort of attack unit, or at least even like Licorice to somewhat, to provide the heals and to counteract the oldest tiles a bit, would have probably been a stronger move.
I think both are sort of okay, but knowing that it's Lord Thy God and he plays a very safe style, right? He always goes for at least one tank, and often goes for multiple healers. So he is completely fine playing these sort of early healer picks. Or that's what he's more comfortable with, I think.
Which is important, if you have a kind of defined play style, it's good to kind of live in that zone.
And here, I'm pretty sure Roy Lee knows that and is trying to just exploit that weakness. So here, he actually goes for a second pick Rachel here. Very surprising.
It is.
Yeah, Rachel isn't the kind of unit I will second pick. Like here, you don't have a Landius first pick. It's Odious, which doesn't quite buff Legends. So you have to like Gospel yourself.
Yeah.
And now you're like playing 2 tanks versus no tanks on this side. So after a few pick and bans here, it was just Lord picking up all these defensive units. Like double tank, Listel can't really kill or one-shot units. Listel is more of a unit I would combo with AoEs.
Yeah, having Listel plus, I guess, if you consider the tank DPS, I'll give them each a half, so you kind of have 2, I'd say, DPS here. I don't know, it's actually kind of tough.
Yeah, for Listel, I would say it's better with stuff like hard-hitting AoEs, like Ares or Arena Rod. You can apply Heal Reversal, make sure your units or enemies' units are not at full health, and then you can try to one-shot them that way with like Ares. This he'll have to do with like a Blood Dance followed by a Juggler Jump. There's really not that many other ways of killing stuff with this sort of team.
Because the trouble is, because Maybz has Leona too, you could do like a Blood Dance rewind again, Blood Dance, but that's gonna be hard to pull off with the team that Maybz has.
Yeah, when facing against Listel, I would bring Summon Sky Archers on Liana. Can even like drop off Gospel or Act Again just for Summon Sky Archers. That way, after they Blood Dance, you dispel that and immediately heal. And now you're full again. Also, a Juggler is really weak against Landius, both against the field and also against the 3C. Since if you jump in, you can get pushed back from 3C and then you'll not have any range to do the follow-up Beast Rock.
Yep.
So we can just go into this match now. And we can actually see how Roy Lee plays out this, first tank or first pick Landius, no tank team. The use of this field, it's really good when comboed with like long range poke, like Rainforce. Here, yeah, he's just putting all of his units on infantry troops or like infantry movement, so they can jump on it, attack, and move back. Every one of them. And this is a Teddy Bear Gospel.
Oh yeah. Interesting, okay. So that looks like Genius as well.
Yeah, it probably is. It's very low int. Yeah.
And the HP, 12k HP, so yeah, I'd say it's probably Genius.
I really don't like Lancer Landius in these sort of situations. Because if you're bringing Templar Knights, you have absolutely no movement through this terrain. So you would kind of need like another sort of field on your team, so you can fight against their fields, like your own landius or Licorice.
You know, I honestly, because of the amount of healing he has, I would have actually probably brought Treants.
Yeah, I wouldn't bring Templar Knights here either. And somehow Roy Lee brings the Heavy Centurions, which is a big counter to the Templar Knights here.
Yep. I mean, I think that Heavy Cents are, unless in very exceptional circumstances, that's the right soldier to bring on Ariana in nearly every case.
Mm-hmm. So Lance forward here.
Interesting.
Yeah, just jumps forward. Doesn't care about anything. He's not even player 1 here. This is like very far forward. But not in range to get Beast Shock, so he's fine there. Kind of baiting the Listel to Blood Dance, but it's not going to do much either, since Aryan Rod can just double act then.
It also does bait the dog jump, because you can Total Destruction out of the way.
Mm-hmm. So it's like just putting it forward, threatening the opponent with this Aryan Rod. Like, the opponent can't do anything about it. He last move, the double healers, can't do anything there. He does get first action here, but none of these units can actually do much to any of these other units. The only unit that can one-shot is the Beast Shock from Juggler.
The aggressive movement is very interesting as well, regardless of not having the tank.
So here we see the Juggler jump forward. I think Riley was kind of baiting that, because he moved the Sage right then and there.
Yep.
And this unit is like the one that's going to push away the Juggler and use the field. So he used that, but he has an act again here from Liana. So he can actually act again here and just push the Juggler out of the way.
Yep.
Like, he can go here and push upwards if he wants to.
Yep.
Now this Tenyo Breeze is actually very dangerous. If this Landius wasn't here, like, he has this passive, which is making him, or this passive, making him unable to be displaced. Now, if this Landius wasn't here, if he wanted to, he can push forward and push everything back to blocks, and then Juggler would have no movement through these sort of dazzling light terrain and can't follow up with Beast Rock. Yeah.
I've seen dogs trapped. It's pretty scary.
But because of this Landius here, it makes this jump pretty good. Now he can only get pushed upwards. But as you can see, Roily doesn't even actually do that. He just pushes forward anyways. So again, he's in danger of getting hit by this Juggler Beast Shock, which is one of the most threatening things you can do with the Juggler. Just jump, and then next turn, Beast Shock pretty much guarantees a kill on a lot of units. So Rance into the Landius, and actually moves back 2 blocks thanks to the old Landius field. So he moves out of the Beast Shock here with that. Then jumps back to AoE.
Interesting.
Yeah. Like, you can pretty much AoE anywhere, but you just jump back to AoE. Like, jump back into the Beast Shock range, not even hit the 2 healers here, just hit these things.
Yeah, I would have probably done it like below Listel. At least it's Sophia there.
Yeah, I couldn't really understand it, but he does luckily get the juggler's water off, so Beast Shock is not going to be as much of a threat anymore, at least.
Yeah.
I just lost so much attack here.
I wonder which I forgot to look at the beginning which tank is tank priority.
Yeah,
Looks like juggler.
So lightning hits the juggler here. That is the last move, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, what's the other skill on Rachel?
The other skill is Scythe.
Okay. I wonder if he knew which one would guard or not, because I wonder if he would have went with Scythe instead. I'm not sure.
Not sure either, but I think you always have to start with Lightning. It's the shorter cooldown of the two.
True,
so after you use Lightning, you have Scythe and then Lightning again. But here he brought Crystal Warlocks, which is not as good as Sorceress, so can't be doing that much damage. Also on Teddy Bear, and the +1 range stick, so int is very low.
Yeah. And we're in Lando Aura.
Yeah, if it didn't have either of those two, probably can kill a juggler with Scythe. Then again, he will have to like get closer just to hit.
Yeah.
So full heal the juggler. Still not in water. It's okay.
Well, he has baited out all the heals now.
So Lord used both healer actions early on. Like that video where I talk about like the powers of player 2's last action. Make some hard-hitting attacks and then you just make them use all their healer actions first. And now they're out of stuff. And now both of them are actually heal blocked.
Oh wow.
From this Gizarov 3C. So now if you attack, clip the juggler with any sort of AoEs, it's not going to heal up the healers. The juggler is also out of healing. Both healers took their action, and he's somehow like moving the juggler here, away from the team here, and still in range of opponents. Juggler had decent enough mobility, could have ran away, I think.
Yeah, I would have done that. But the moving up doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, still not in water. So just taking so much damage. But Dance does some very nice damage.
Yeah, that's pretty OP.
Except there's no follow-up. Landius just can't get close.
Yeah, that's where, you know, if you had Treants or anything that's not Templar Knights or Royal Calves here, you can go and smack Rachel.
Yeah, this would have been a dead Rachel. So this is moving away, not healing the Aryan Rod intentionally. And this is like the second part where I just thought like this guy is a pro. Not healing the Aryan Rod that's like ready to go up with 2 AoEs. Like that skill.
Oh yeah, separate. Yeah, great move. Oh, that's why I brought the Sturmlands instead of Adversity.
So couldn't kill both healers, but it was like so much damage. Lord just know he can't come back from that. So game 2, no changes either side. Like from Lord, I would have expected adding in like Yusuke. Like really also didn't add in another tank, expecting like not expecting any sort of changes here. Okay, so looking at the ban picks here in this game, we have Illustrial first ban. This followed by like a first pick old Landius. No, sort of expect.
He deviated.
It's sort of surprising, but also Illustrial can actually run around the mountains. Like you can't exactly stop her mobility that way.
True. Yeah, no, she's yeah, when she has enough terrain, she can run around the oldest tiles.
Again, double banning Gospels here. And then all Gospels immediately gone. Then again.
Yeah, when I ban Gospels, I like what Royally did there is that you ban Liana plus whoever you want to fight less of Rachel or Deedlit, because then it threatens both healers and Gospels, and you have to kind of make a choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. So they went for the healer pick in Weiler, and then just lost all the Gospels. Then right after that, like, really doesn't even go for one of these big debuffs. Just go for Rachel. And as we saw last game, the Rachel didn't bring the 3C. It went single target. So another thing. Like, strange bans and strange picks. And now third picks the Bullseye.
You know, what I do like about the Rachel, though, is that it gives a lot of healing output, which can help with positioning. Plus, you can just stick Crystal Warlocks on her. With like a team like this, it's going to be tough for Lord to break through with anything besides Beast Shock.
Yeah, the healing is definitely good. And also Teddy Bear Gospels. So you know you're going to be good against any sort of debuffs, which is actually letting through a lot here. So it looks like really doesn't mind playing against double tanks, doesn't mind playing against AoE debuffs. And also gets the Liana here. So second time in a row gets Plur 2 Liana.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, it's...
Yep, Liana
really
Act
strong.
Again is very good.
And Lord doesn't have Liana this time, so it's even stronger.
So just AoE Sophia. Yeah, no 3C here, just AoE again on Weiler. So there's really no kill potential on this side.
Yeah, it's B-Shock or bust.
It's just B-Shock, and you have to ram with Landius, and I don't think he's playing with like a Overlord's badge. The attack is very low here. So this is likely Bracer.
Yeah.
So the Rams are gonna be pretty weak. And they're facing against B-Stuff, Sorceress. As long as they're full health, they should be able to survive like a Landius Ram. Crystal Warlocks for sure. So it's really just the Beast Shock that can kill anything.
Yeah, that's a tough situation. Because basically I think, yeah, I guess Lord's only strategy here is to hope to stall out, but I don't know how he's going to accumulate enough damage to get the tiebreaker.
He does have a lot of healing, and he's up against no tanks, a lot of AoEs. So that was his game plan there. Like, so far as we are watching this match, I think the one thing everyone can learn from is if you don't have a tank, or when you do have a tank, this old Landius field is sort of like your tank. When you are reducing your opponent's mobility this much, you can just place your own units better so that they don't get hit by opponents. It's like in PvE, right? Where you just drop these fields and stay just outside of your opponent's range, make them come to you, and then you just beat them down with everything. I think that's what Riley is doing here with this old Landius.
I mean, so in all strategy games, the two most important stats are movement and range. And if you can take your opponent's movement and reduce it, that's one of the strongest plays you can do.
Yeah, so after a few movements here, really leaves with Liana, Rachel here, and the old Landius. And for some reason, like, you still have healer actions here. Like, they're not going to be doing that much here. There isn't a mass retreat. Sophia should probably do something first. But just going for this juggler here. Juggler jump here. With healer follow-up. So at this point, I'm like so confused watching this. Like, what is Sophia going to do here? What is Weiler going to do here?
Juggler's isolated now, and Royally has an act again.
Yeah, this jump wouldn't be that bad if either Juggler had a TR's heal, like TR's talent, or if he had the Weiler talent.
Yes.
But there isn't a 3C, so the Juggler is actually vulnerable to attacks here. And there's 3 actions before this Juggler can jump, or like a Beast Shock. Now if he moved both healer actions first and then did the Juggler jump, then like Juggler can take a hit and then immediately Beast Shock at the start of next turn. And that's probably gonna just kill off anything he wants. But he didn't do that. Just jumping in here with 2 actions left over. While the opponents still have 3 actions. So here, the Liana dispels, acts again, and then just pushes this Juggler here down. Down from everyone, so now healers really have like no range to do anything. Weiler previously, I think, was in range to regroup at least, but now he's not in range.
Yeah, he would have been in range to regroup, but yeah, now Juggler's completely isolated.
So right now Juggler does have order, does have buffs, but lost last rites. Takes a normal attack from Bozel. That end is actually very high.
What is it? Oh, wow. Then that's not even Tree of Life, is it? Oh, it is Tree of Life. But still, that's...
Yeah, the tree is from Liana. And then Scythe doesn't get the kill. It was like either not a teddy bear or not a flawless wisdom stick. That would have been kill. Somehow the Beast Shock doesn't actually kill.
His passive. Yeah, that's ouch from Bozel.
Bozel just... Yeah. The 1 debuff. Or it cannot be buffed, actually. Yeah, the can...
The 2 you don't
I'm actually immune to that. But yeah, just passive block. Just stop this Juggler's entire damage output. So Juggler dies for free.
But that, yeah, I'd say that's definitely the right move though, because if he wasn't passive blocked, that Rachel should be dead.
Yeah, it should have been definitely dead, even with a low health Juggler. But then again, like, Laura definitely misplayed with those 2 healer actions before jumping the Juggler.
Yep, 100%.
And now there isn't a gospel for the Landius. There's no mass resist, so he gets sleeped. Actually, there was a mass resist, it just ran out.
Yes.
Yeah, and here's the strength of Rachel, not actually killing. Bishop's actually surviving a lot better than I expected. That was Sorceress, Rachel attacking at range, with Gospel. And it could only kill all of the bishops.
Yeah, mages are good against magic.
Reply Gospel, so the Anna doesn't have to care about anything. And again, right now, like in this situation, you just look at the field here. All of these units on Ridley side, there's no tanks, but there's nobody to take advantage of it. You have Licorice, can't kill anything. 2 healers can't kill anything. And the Landius is like, doesn't have attack and he's also sleeping. More AoEs from Bozo, heal blocks cannot be buffed. Heal block on Sophia herself. Couldn't remove that either. And right now, Landius is not even guarding. So it's like...
really hurt.
Yeah. Between this team and that team not having a tank, the one with these Rachels and these debuffs wins. Couldn't get the kill, but still heal blocked. So Licorice still can't really do anything there.
Yeah, the full team heal block hurts.
And now that's just game. Okay, well that's it for now. Thank you, Leumas, for joining me here.
Thanks for having me.
Alright, everyone take care until next time.